So I'm sure you guys heard about how YouTube wants to potentially remove the dislike button on YouTube videos altogether. And I saw this thing in my creator studio where there was this Asian guy working for YouTube, and he went over, I guess some of the changes and some of the things that they were talking about and some of the ideas that they had to possibly change the dislike button. Now, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to change it in the end of the day, because I believe that the majority of people on YouTube are, like the way it works, and it's most likely a loud minority of people calling for it to be done. It's the SJW type content, the SJW type people, probably the news broadcasters and stuff like CNN and whatnot that are on YouTube asking for this to be removed. Because if you ever go to like the CBC or CNN and all these other fake news sites, you're going to see tons of dislikes, a huge dislike ratio. Whenever you see SJW videos and stuff, you're going to see probably a huge dislike video, and the videos that the majority of YouTube community likes are going to get a lot of likes. It's pretty representative of how the video was received, the likes and dislike buttons. So the only people I could see wanting this removed are people who make blatantly shitty content that always gets downvoted because they're saying regressive shit. I saw Brett Keane. If you don't know who this is, because I was searching through YouTube and I came across his channel. I was like, oh my god, Brett Keane, he's still alive making videos. He's this guy. He used to make videos about the amazing atheist all the time, all these like hit piece videos. And he made one about this recent YouTube thing. And he's just like, yeah, see, I've been saying for years that we should get rid of the upvotes and the all these likes and remove the likes and the comments and the downvotes and the comments and all this other stuff, because people have been mobilizing this and having this in a mob and attacking people, and my channel specifically. But if you know anything about the Brett Keane guy, you know he deserves kind of every bit of it. And it's funny, I looked on his channel, he's got like, almost nobody's watching him, which is pretty pathetic. He's been on YouTube for I don't know how many fucking years, but he's still making videos about TJ Kirk, who is like the most irrelevant person on YouTube now, talking about extremely irrelevant topics. Like, man, you guys are stuck like 5 to 10 years ago in YouTube history. But I saw like the way like he's like, yeah, we need to remove it and all this. So I'm like, yeah, see, this is the type of person that wants it gone. It's people like him that make shitty content, and people like the mainstream media, whom they don't want average normies to go on YouTube and see, oh, why is this all completely disliked? Oh, it must be because, because when people see a huge dislike ratio, they do assume something is the matter, and they kind of like, okay, there must be something, and they start looking in the comment section and start reading the comments to find out what was wrong with the video. And usually in the comments somebody will tell you, oh, this is why it's bullshit, and then you start to learn more about it and you start to learn. But they would rather have that gone, some of these people. So then you just kind of eat what you're told. You're just going to eat up everything that's being sold to you without kind of questioning it, without seeing that marker that lets you know if something could possibly be wrong. And some of their solutions that YouTube was saying they're going to do, I can just tell you already, they're not going to work. But the first thing was hiding the like to dislike by default. Now, what is that going to do? If you do it by default, a lot of people like me and all these other content creators are just going to turn on their like to dislike ratio anyways, so people can see it, and that's going to incentivize other people to do it. And if you don't do it, then people are going to assume there's something fishy going on with your video anyways, and they're going to look into the comments section and figure out what the hell is going on. Because that's what I already think when I see people turn off or have it on default. They turn off the likes to dislike. I'm like, I wonder why. It makes me think like something must be a little fishy, or what they're saying is creating a stir, or maybe they don't want to see the the likes or dislikes, or they're hiding it for some reason. So it's going to have the same effect as having as seeing like 10,000 dislikes and a couple thousand likes. And speaking of that, there was like that recent YouTube video. Maybe they're doing it for that, but the YouTube Rewind video is the most disliked video in YouTube history. And why is that? It's for a good reason. It's because a lot of these people, a lot of these last YouTube Rewind things, like I don't even really watch them anyways, but from what I've heard, it's because now they're going kind of mainstream. They're like using celebrities instead of the YouTubers that kind of like help create and make this platform popular. So yeah, the majority of the audience, the people on YouTube that watch the content, that use the site, don't like to see it go all mainstream and stuff. So yeah, that dislike count was not a mob of people just doing that for no reason. It's because people just genuinely didn't like it, right? And even if some people do mob your videos occasionally and dislike it for no reason, which occasionally that happens, like who the fuck cares? Like really, you can't recover. And if you're making good content and it's true and truthful, and you see all these dislikes, but then they look in the comments, they don't really see any good arguments, like you're going to be totally fine. But they want this, like I said, because if you go to like CNN, or if you look up a national news topic, when something happens, you'll see all that's ever recommended to you is the mainstream media now. So of course that is going to get a dislike, and of course people aren't going to watch the whole video before they dislike it, because they're already feeding us information we don't want to see. They're already giving us people that we know are proven liars. So of course we're just going to watch it for 1 or 2 seconds and dislike it. Because I heard like that Brett Keane using that as an argument, saying like, some of these people, they don't even watch it for 2 seconds. Well, Brett, you're a scummy piece of shit, and obviously nobody I'm talking to probably knows who you are, but this type of guy is a scummy piece of shit, and he doesn't deserve people to really watch his whole video and to get a like or a dislike. Some people do enough stupid or bad shit that they can just be disliked immediately whenever they release a fucking video, because they're just such garbage human beings. Whenever Kraut and T releases something, I would do pretty much the same thing. It's like, fuck you. Whenever I see a TYT video, they're all the same. Every time I watch one to the very end, which is very difficult, they're all the same. They're always race baiting. So do I really need to watch the whole thing before I fucking dislike it? Is that really going to impact your channel that fucking much? But the first solution, like I said, hiding the default, won't work. Then the second was, if you downvote, you can have a checkbox that pops up and lets creators know what they think about the videos. That would also be stupid, because a lot of people just probably wouldn't dislike at that point. So now you're not getting an actual representation of what people thought about the video, and it would take too long. Too big of an algorithm would probably like slow things down. That's not really a solution either. They should just leave it the way it is. It's working completely fine the way it is. But remove dislikes entirely, so no. And removing dislike count, so also no. But this just does seem to probably be geared towards a loud minority that is, yelling at YouTube and stuff to change this, because I'm pretty confident that the majority of people like the like to downvote thing. Most people don't have a problem with it, and if you do, it's because you're like some SJW or something like that. Like, that's the only reason I can really see why people would dislike it. And sure, sometimes people will mob your channel, right, and dislike it for no reason. I get some people, yeah, they don't watch my shit, they dislike it for no reason. I don't care. Who cares? Who the fuck is like staying up at night being like, oh, the people aren't seeing the real me? It's like, you know what, if anything, if there's like 50 dislikes and 50 likes, that's almost more of an incentive for people to watch your video all the way through, the people that don't know anything about you, and for them to maybe get to know you and actually subscribe to you, because they'll be more interested. They'll be like, wow, it's split here and people seem to be divided on what they think. Maybe I'm going to watch this whole video all the way through. So It's actually a good thing when you could have a lot of dislikes or whatnot, because then people will be interested to see why you have so many dislikes. But like I said, it's not the majority of people that are complaining about this, and I don't think they probably will make this change, because they probably can tell with their own internal polling and stuff that the majority of people don't want this done, and it would probably hurt their company to an extent if they did this for the sake of a small minority of people, right? Like, they can push some stuff like the mainstream media on the front page when news events happens, and a few other things. People are going to not like it, but they're going to contend with it. But if you start to change things like that dramatically, completely take away the likes, the dislikes, and whatnot, to pander to a few small creators that don't like it and whatnot, then you're just gonna be shooting yourself in the foot. Well, that's my opinion, anyways. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're gonna do it anyways, and they won't give a fuck, and people will still use YouTube because there's practically nothing else that is a good substitute to use in its place, right? Maybe check out BitChute and go to alternative platforms to help build them up, but at the end of the day, yeah, nothing still compares to YouTube. So that's kind of like, what people have to use. So, but I don't think, like I said, that they will change it. But it is interesting to see the people who are in favor of it, like that Brett Keane guy. Maybe I'll link his video in the description and stuff, because he's just a joke laying in his bed like a big slob. Just repeating shit he's been saying for so many years. And I just thought it was so funny that this guy is still kicking around on YouTube all these years later and still making content about TJ Kirk, who's so irrelevant now. But nonetheless, it gave me a laugh, and it kind of made me want to do a story about this as well. So I guess I can thank him for that either way. But thank you for watching. I hope you like the content. Subscribe, share. Check out the links below. Follow me on, Reddit and all that other stuff. I think I got some links below. But if you like my content, take it easy. Have a good one.